Like and subscribe there. Go to 977ESPN.com, and you can get links to all of that. And while you're at it, get the app. You need to have the app. The app is critical to your existence. To be quite honest with you, you need that app because there's so much additional programming on the app. And with the app, you can pretty much take it anywhere you want to go.
You can take it near, you can take it far, you can take it in your car, you can take it to a bar.
Yeah, that's what Singing Scott says, that you can do that. Madison Academy will be down in Cullman to take on Good Hope on Friday night. Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird on the call for us. I still don't understand why the higher-seeded team doesn't host these games. I mean, this is just me. I'm an idiot, right? Feel free to let me know. I mean, Good Hope is 9-3 now on the season. Madison Academy is 11-1. They're the top-ranked team in 4A in the state. Why? Why? And then if you're going to tell me why, tell me how it makes sense. That's what I want to know. How does it make sense? I don't get it. I mean, I get that the lower on the bracket and who's on the bottom line is the host, but I mean, Madison Academy works their butt off to be the number one team in the top seed in 4A, and they got to go on the road in the playoffs before the state championship game. Why? The heck did Good Hope do to deserve to have a home game against Madison Academy? Coming up in a few minutes, David Moulton, no relation to Steve Moulton, of the SEC on CBS and the NFL on Fox, will join us. He was in Knoxville Saturday for Georgia's win over Tennessee. He will be in T-Town this week for the Alabama-Arkansas game, and he'll be down on the Plains next week for the Iron Bowl. The Tide can secure their spot in Atlanta for the SEC championship game with a win this week. But their goal is not to make Atlanta. Their goal is to make the playoff, and I still believe that they have to win the SEC championship to get there. I believe it, and I believe that it's right. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that an 11-2 Alabama team isn't one of the four best teams in the country. I just don't think it would be right unless there were other two-loss teams, unless there was some carnage that went on. In this system, I don't know that it would be right. I mean, you lose a couple of games, you know? I mean, the New England Patriots aren't the Super Bowl champions. That year they went 18-0. They lost the Super Bowl. Yes, they were the best team in football that year. Okay. But that doesn't mean they're the champions. The Giants, who were like 11-5, are the champions of the NFL that year. Because they won the game. The game has to mean something. I believe that. By the way, there are six cupcake games in the SEC this week, and there were 2 last week, and I don't like this at all. I mean, most SEC teams play 2 or 3 of these games. 2 should be the max, first of all. And to be honest, they should all be confined to the first 4 weeks of the season when we watch anything. I mean, we watch scrimmages at that point. We don't care then. I don't want this now. This is the only conference that does this. Everyone else is playing huge conference games down the stretch. This is November football, not the preseason. And yes, I get that the SEC system seems to work since they win the Natty so often. But I don't think it's because Alabama played New Mexico State in Week 10 and Georgia is playing Charleston Southern in Week 11. I don't think that's why the SEC is great. It's hideous. And the league needs to find a way to stop it. And they can stop it. First of all, while you're at it, get the 9 conference games. And do it now. Don't wait for Oklahoma and Texas to show up in a couple of years. Do it now. 4 non-conference games, 3 of them are layups. It's only a 12-game season. Do you realize we're talking about 25% of the season? 25% of the season is played against Mercer, New Mexico State, and Southern Miss, if you're Alabama. Rice, Georgia Southern, and Arkansas Pine Bluff, if you're Arkansas. 25% of the season. Stop it. Just stop it. I mean, at least Georgia, this year they played Clemson, and they'll play Georgia Tech as they do every year. At least Georgia Tech's a G5. Yeah, they're an easy G5, but they're a G5. At least. LSU plays McNeese State, Central Michigan, and then this week, Louisiana Monroe. Stop it. 25% of the season. It's only a 12-week season. And 25% of the season is dedicated to cupcakes. Those are, I mean, even in the NFL preseason games, which are now 3 out of 17 weeks, at least they're against other NFL teams. And, yeah, I get their JV games. But that's what these end up being, JV games. 2 at max, and they got to be played in September. August, September. If it's an issue of getting young guys PT, then let them have a scrimmage in September. It's really annoying to me. David will also be in Atlanta Thursday night for the Patriots and the Falcons. Can Mac Jones take his show on the road, and can the Falcons bounce back from that beating that Dallas put on them? Speaking of Oklahoma, by the way, Grizz, I don't know if this is a problem. Is that a problem for you? Did that create an echo for you? Just nod your head. No? That doesn't create an echo for you? Maybe it will be when you talk. I'll see. One of my settings was a little off a little bit, I think, on my board. I don't know if that changed anything or not. It's better for me, but I don't want to create a problem for you. Speaking of Oklahoma, how about Tom Luganville's comment about Lincoln Riley to LSU yesterday? Many of you may not have heard that since we were having all kinds of technical issues, but I queued that up. I'm going to get that in sometime in the show. I want your reaction to that. Today, Joe Rexrode is in from The Athletic and from 102.5 The Game in Nashville. It's a good radio station. He will join us to talk about the amazing 8-2 Titans. What is that all about? Tonight is round 3 now of the College Football Playoff Committee.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the Tuesday top 10.
All right, here you go. This is the way I think it should roll out. Georgia will be number 1. I think Alabama will still be number 2. Oregon 3 and Ohio State 4, which is the way it is right now. More on that in a moment. I would have Michigan jump Cincinnati. I would have Michigan at 5. I would have Michigan is a heartbeat. Michigan's a blown call in the Michigan State game away from being undefeated. Michigan is playing and beating better people than Cincinnati is. I would have Michigan at 5, Cincinnati 6, Notre Dame 7, Michigan State 8, Oklahoma State 9, and Baylor at 10. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure that the Buckeyes aren't going to jump Oregon. And this is where the rub of head-to-head comes in the entire system of the polls versus actual results. But if I were to ask you right now, who's better, Ohio State or Oregon? Yeah, Oregon went to Ohio State and won a game. There's no doubt about it. They won that game head-to-head. They also then went and lost to Stanford. So their loss to Stanford is worse than Ohio State's loss, which, in fact, is to Oregon. So you sit there and you say, wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, but it does. You follow me? I mean, it doesn't, but it does. Because Ohio State's better than Oregon. Oregon beat Ohio State. Yeah. They did. Yeah, they did. Week 2. Ohio State breaking in a new quarterback. A lot of new things on offense. Ohio State's better than Oregon. We think. And that's the key to this whole thing, is what we think. and this is the whole issue with polls versus actual result. We don't do this in any other sport. We don't even do this in any other college level. College football level. We don't do this in any other sport where we just look at it and pick it and say, yeah, there you go. These are your playoff teams. We don't do that. You got to earn your way in. And for all the talk about a 12-team playoff, I am still in the 8-team camp. I am still in the 8-team camp with 5 Power 5 champs. I think if you win one of these Power 5 conferences, I know we think that Oregon is not as good as some, and somebody's going to win the Big 12. And we might say that they're not, but we don't really know. We don't really know. I think if you win a major conference, you should go in, period. 5 Power 5 champs and the highest-ranked G5 team. So if that's Cincinnati this year or UCF another year or Houston another, whatever they are, whoever is the highest-ranked group of 5 champion, you got to win whatever conference that you're in. If it's the MAC champion or if it's the conference USA, it's usually the American champion. American's kind of like a quasi, it's somewhere in between group of 5. But now they're losing their 4 best teams. So the American's no different than the MAC and the Sun Belt and the new American is going to be like Conference USA. It's highest ranked group of 5 and then 2 wild cards, which would make up for the rarity that there was an upset. Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship game. Georgia's 12-1. Their only loss was to Alabama in the SEC championship game. You put them in as a wild card. You follow me? So you got 2. You let the committee decide on the 3 wild cards between the group of 5, and the group of 5 team has to be at least the top. They got to be a top 12 team, let's say. It can't be, they're the best team in a group of 5, but they're 17th in the country like Memphis was a few years ago. This new system that they have for 12, that they have put out there for 12-team playoff, includes a group of 5, highest-ranked group of 5 champ. 2 years ago, it would have been Memphis at number 17. Number 17 doesn't get in. I'm sorry. That's the best system. Over there in the little glass booth, playing the Platters That Matter and Stacks of Wax and manning the phones and doing a great job yesterday to help get everything back in order. It's Coach Chris.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Grizz, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. And I do hear an echo now.
Yeah, so hey,
Something
let me do this.
happened.
Okay, there you go. It's gone.
There we go.
All right. Hang on one second. You know what it is? Hang on.
Like, I could make you have an echo right
now. No. You know what it was?
What was it?
I had my headphones on backwards. One day, not doing the show from my studio, I had my headphones on. See, you were always over here on the right.
Okay.
And me and everything else is over here on the left. And I was discombobulated. I almost had to call the engineer and the technician and the guy from WOW and have them all come here to the Big Dog Production Studio and help me out. And then I just realized what it was. I had my headphones on backwards.
It's one of those days. It's one of those weekends. It's one of those. I feel like it's been one of those weeks. One of those weird weeks. We were good for 2 weeks and then we were bad for a week.
Everything's back to normal now. Well, there was an outage, and and that led to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Moulton running around in the studio now?
He's in there right now.
Is he?
Yes. I'm looking right at him.
Do you? Let me ask you before I ask him, because I might want to crack
He's
his
probably
mic.
listening, I would think.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Do you know why the number 1 seed has to go travel in the playoffs?
I don't really know that.
All right, open up Moulton's mic over there.
Hey, Steve.
All right, Steve, Can you tell me why? Because I have a feeble brain. Can you tell me
Tom
why?
wants to ask you a question.
I didn't hear me.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
All right,
You woke him up. You woke the bear.
Yeah, did I wake him up? I poked the bear. All right, listen, I got a question because I have a small brain and I don't understand these things that make sense to me. These are things that make me go, why in God's name would the number 1 seed in the entire 4A, the top-ranked team in 4A, why would they have to travel to Coleman to play Good Hope? Why would they not have home ice throughout the playoffs until the state championship game? Why do they do this? What the hell did Good Hope do to deserve having MA come to their place? What is up with that?
So I agree with you. I think number one seeds out of region play should host.
Yeah.
So that is not the case because Good Hope went on the road last week and beat Northside on the road at Northside. Had Northside beaten Good Hope, Madison Academy would be at home this week. That was not the place. That did not take place. So Madison Academy, after hosting the first 2 rounds, they are rewarding a road team for a road win. That's why Madison Academy is on the road this week.
But that's crap. Madison Academy played their butts off all season long to be 9-1 in the regular season, to be the number 1 seed overall. And because they went and beat Northside, they get to go have a home game and host the number 1 seed. The number 1 seed should never have to travel. What's Good Hope's seed?
I think they're 3 seed out of their region, I want to say. But I again say I agree with you that I think the region champ should always be hosting. And trust me, I would love another home game rather than traveling to Coleman.
Right.
But it's rewarding a road win. That's the AHSAA standard.
How about rewarding 9-1?
They're a 2 seed.
How about rewarding 9-1? How about reward that?
Yeah.
How about rewarding
nice,
a team that
it?
didn't go 7-3 in the regular season, that went 9-1 in the regular season? How about rewarding that?
Yeah, Good Hope is the 2nd seed out of their region.
Because after you get out of regional play, then it should still be. It's almost like you can. You know how in the NCAA tournament, when you get to the Final Four, you have the overall number 1 seed. So if all 4 1 seeds go to the Final Four, then you have your national number 1 seed, number 2 seed, number 3, or like in baseball. You know what I mean? How they do that. Well, it's the same thing here. All the way until the championship. Where's the championship this year? Is it Auburn or at Alabama?
I believe it's in Birmingham.
Oh, it's Birmingham?
Yeah,
the
UAB,
new stadium?
the sparkling new stadium down there.
So until they go to Birmingham, Madison Academy should be afforded the opportunity to play at home. Everybody should have to go through Madison Academy.
I'll sign up for that.
That's my opinion.
Although I'm sure there's some folks down in Coleman listening to us right now saying, "No, get your butt down here."
Oh, well,
and
Coleman
I am
is
looking
a lovely
forward
place.
to seeing the folks down there at Good Hope on Friday.
I am a fan of Coleman. It is a good place. I almost moved there. I had a deal fall through on a little farm down that way, down in the Vinemont, or what else? The other Diamond, or not? What's the other town that's right there? There's Vinemont, Coleman, not Flint. But what the heck is the other? I don't know. Anyway,
Fairview.
No, it wasn't Fairview, but it was Coleman. It was 5 miles north of Coleman. Coleman's got everything.
Hansville?
By the way, Coleman has got one of the best Walmarts in all of the state of Alabama. Coleman's got a super Walmart to die for. I love Coleman's Walmart. There you go. See? But you didn't know that. They got a great Walmart there.
They got a good fishing hole down there, too?
They got a what?
They got a good fishing hole down there, too?
Well, I would run over to Smith Lake. It's about 20 minutes away. If I was going to live in Coleman, I would only be 20 minutes from Ingalls Harbor on Wheeler, and I'd be 20 minutes from Smith Lake, and I'd unfortunately be 45 minutes to an hour from Gunnersville. But it didn't work out. Anyway.
They have a nice regional hospital too. I've been there before.
Oh, you been to the Coleman Hospital? The
At
hospital
midnight,
and the Walmart.
random. Yeah, it was a random event.
Yeah, the hospital and the Walmart.
It sucked. It was scary.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is not a commentary about Good Hope.
Good Hope, Coleman area.
Or Coleman.
Can we talk about the Braves signing Manny Pena? And
No.
then bolstering that roster for
Backup
next year?
Catcher. He's a
hey,
backup
he's a
catcher.
hitter.
Signed Darno.
Darno couldn't hit in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
he's a hitter.
They give Darno twice as much money as they gave Pena. So
if he was a good fisherman, he'd be talking about him.
Well, I'm more excited about Justin Verlander's going to sign with the Yankees at 39 years old. Noah Syndergaard, 29 years old. signing with the Angels, 2 guys that are coming off a major surgery that didn't pitch last year. I'm excited about that, and I'm waiting on Freddie. You know, that $18 million, to me, Freddie should just laugh that up. I mean, that qualifying $18 million. Yeah, get the hell out of here with that. You know, show back up. You better come back here with 4 years for $120 million. You give me 4 for $120, and I'm good. That's what I hope Freddie says. I'm waiting on the Freddie signing. I actually had that in my notes, and then, you know, it didn't make the cut. Now, let me get a break. When we come back, David, thank you, Steve Moulton, for enlightening us on that. Which
you're welcome.
I guess the only explanation is that they went on the road and won a game, and they're going to reward them instead of rewarding the team that went 9-1 in the regular season. They're going to reward a team that won a playoff game on the road. I don't understand that. Madison Academy's going to blow them out. All right, let's get a break and come back. David Moulton is next. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The PGA Tour heads to St. Simons Island, Georgia for the RSM Classic starting Thursday. Scotty Scheffler, the odds-on favorite to win it at plus 1,200, followed by Webb Simpson at plus 1,400, Cameron Smith at plus 1,800, Harris English, Corey Connors, and Louis Oosthuizen each at plus 2,500. NFL, the Falcons a 6.5-point underdog against the Patriots at home over under 47. Saints a 1.5-point dog at the Eagles over under 43.5. College hoops tonight, number 14 Alabama at home against South Alabama. The Crimson Tide a 23.5-point home favorite. Tip-off at 6:30 in Coleman Coliseum. Number 21 Auburn will return to the floor Friday at South Florida.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us, too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You know that there are some words that have really messed up our world. The devil, way back in Genesis, said, "Has God really said?" Unfortunately, we often listen to those words of the devil. We question God's word. We often doubt God's goodness, and we make a mess for ourselves and so many others. Hey, let's honor the word of God for what it is. It is God's word. Let's follow it and be blessed by it. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Hey, this is Justin with the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We'd like to invite you to North Alabama's premier patio bar and grill, where at the factory, we have something going on each and every night. Monday night, steak night. Tuesday night, karaoke. Wednesday night, the Jeep community comes out for Jeep Jam. Thursday, it's bike night, the biggest in the valley. Friday and Saturday, live concerts on our 4,000 square foot patio, along with drink specials and a beautiful staff. What are you waiting on? We will see you at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Partly sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Overall, it's going to be a really beautiful day across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, dropping into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight. Wednesday is going to be just as nice, a partly sunny sky. Temperatures hanging out in the lower 70s, dropping into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Thursday morning. Thursday is not going to be near as nice across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures are only going to climb into the low 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Be sure and join us today from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of the show is brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage, serving all of Alabama, Florida, and Tennessee with conventional VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They're helping you out with new purchases and refinances. I'm in the midst of one of those right now with Brian Hammaker and his team. Doing a little refinance for home renovation, pull a little bit of that money at a very low rate out of the property so that we can redo a kitchen. All right, so you might have college expenses or wedding expenses or who knows what that you want to do, but you got money buried in your home, and the values have never been higher and the rates have never been lower. So talk to North Alabama Mortgage. They bring us David Moulton each and every week. It's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information, and David Moulton joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. David, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. What's up?
Well, Tennessee was up for a minute against Georgia. I mean, that must have made the guys in the booth excited. You guys, thought maybe you had a little bit of a game there. And was there anything that Tennessee was able to do that made you think that maybe if Georgia faces a more dynamic offense, maybe in the SEC championship game or in the playoff, that maybe they can be scored upon with more points, with enough points to make them sweat?
Well, in the first 20 minutes of the game, Tennessee, by formation, I think more than tempo. I mean, the one thing that tempo does, it does limit your substitutions, and it kind of, Kirby's got to say, okay, these are the 11 guys we're going to go with. And early on, by formation, they were able to, get some matchups that they were able to either take a couple shots deep, or, when they lined up the double stacks, Georgia was really they had one corner up tight, one corner safety 10 yards back. So Tennessee just kept throwing the flanker screen. The one receiver blocked the corner up tight, and then the corner or safety was 10 yards back, would have to come up and make a tackle. And Tennessee was gaining 5-8 yards on every single play, and it was really simple. And so Georgia said, well, then I guess we have to bring the second DB up a lot tighter. And that's when all of a sudden Tennessee could get 5, 6, 8, 10 yards on first down anymore. And, life became a lot harder.
Stetson Bennett had to throw it about 29 times, not 29 times, that exceeded his previous high by some 8 passes. It appears that it's his job. All right. The thoughts that I had about JT Daniels all the way back at SEC Media Days seem to have come true here, and Stetson Bennett continues to lead this team. I don't know what the heck's going on with JT Daniels, whether or not I don't think he's hurt anymore. This is obviously this is a decision that they've decided that Stetson Bennett is their guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's one thing that we all have to take into account, and I don't know how much of it we have. He's not the quarterback that he was last year. That quarterback could not be leading this team potentially to a national championship. He wasn't good enough. He's better now. He's much better.
Yeah.
But most importantly, he was a fill-in last year. he wasn't really the guy. He's the guy now. I mean, and you can tell, Tom, you know when the other guys know that this is a temp or this is the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
But he wasn't supposed to be the guy. You know, JT Daniels was supposed to be the best quarterback in the SEC and a Heisman Trophy candidate. And when I'm telling you, David, walking up and down Radio Row, seeing that kid slouched back in his chair with his chin buried in his chest, and then having him bail out on 2 or 3 interviews and having the Georgia personnel that were there, the handlers, say he decided to cut off his interviews because he was frazzled by the whole Radio Row thing. We just all looked at each other and he said, "Are you kidding me? This is the SEC. You're frazzled by Radio Row?" And that shook him up. I think it's a huge leadership issue there. And I think Stetson Bennett, the little guy that he is, I just think the guys rally around him and lead. I don't know, though, that he can win the big games. That's still going to be out there. Here's a dominant team that we haven't seen in years, extremely dominant team that maybe has a quarterback that can't win a big game. I don't know.
Well, first off, somebody's got to put them into a big game.
Right.
And in theory, that'll be Alabama in 2.5 weeks. And we'll see what happens. And this is why we watch. And, we'll see. Can they, at some point you figure, it always happens. The old adage, in baseball, the ball will find the one fielder you don't want it to find. Right. In football, at some point in time, whatever your weakness is, hey, can you guys come from behind? And eventually somebody's going to put you down 17-7 mid-second quarter. And it's going to be like, okay, what you got? And, maybe that team's Alabama. Maybe it's Ohio State. Maybe it's Oregon. Who knows?
It's got to be one of these offenses that can push them to the limit. Tennessee games take 4 hours because the other teams continue to get cramps and fall down and do all of these things. And I thought that a couple of the injuries that Georgia had I thought were legit. I mean, clearly the big defensive tackle, he doesn't come back in a game for quite a while, if at all. And then the other one goes down and so on. But I don't know that there's anything we can do about this, right? I mean, there's not a thing we can do other than saying if a guy goes out with an injury, he has to stay out for the rest of a series. Or I don't know. I don't know what you can do, but this is the opposite side of the hurry-up, fast offenses, is defenses that 3 plays into it, all of a sudden get all these mystery cramps and things like that. But is there anything that can be done? Because it kills the game flow.
Outside of the rule change that says you must stay out for a certain number of plays, which obviously will come back and bite teams when there's a legitimate injury and somebody goes to the sidelines and a couple plays later they're like, okay, put me back in. It's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. We have a rule change. You must sit out 6 plays. Well, it happens. I mean, Tom, that's the only thing I could think of. And because most teams don't have the depth to lose frontline guys for the rest of the series, basically. And if you put in a rule change, which essentially is going to say, listen, you got to sit out 6 plays, good, bad, or indifferently. It's kind of like when there's an injury in the final 2 minutes and they take a timeout off the board and you're like, it's a legitimate injury.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's a rule.
David Moulton with us, the SEC on CBS. I don't know if you know this, but I'll ask it anyway because it's going to lead to where I'm going with this discussion. Does the network have any influence in terms of just conversation with the commissioner and the powers, the muckety-mucks at the SEC? Does the network have any say at all, any suggestion at all about scheduling? Do they have anything about, or do they just, the SEC says, here's our schedule, you pick the 12 games you want to do?
Okay, in terms of, what games are played when?
In terms of the fact that I got 6 cupcake games in the SEC this week.
Oh, no.
The 11th week of the friggin' Now, I went out on a rant.
No,
I don't want to do a second rant. 11?
It's been this, Tom, 16 years I've been a part of the SEC on CBS. There's been 1 or 2 holes in the schedule every year for 16 years. The network has begged to redo the schedule. Please change it so that we don't have a week where the best SEC game we can show is Florida at Missouri. And the commissioner's office has said, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Schools handle their own schedules, and we're not going to make them change. Now, this is the advantage that ABC/ESPN is going to get with the addition of Oklahoma and Texas, that even if Greg Sankey and his office leaves it up to the 14 schools to schedule their games, or 16 schools, the likelihood is there will be at least one pretty darn good game every week that can be showcased. But I can tell you, there are years that, we aired an Arkansas-Mississippi State game back in 2011 when our ratings, we were getting 4s through 7s every week. And third week in November, we had to air Arkansas hosting Mississippi State. And Arkansas was the third-ranked team in the country, and the game did like a 1-4. I mean, the schedule's the schedule.
Well, obviously conferences can have something in place. I don't know how it happens, but I can tell you this. I'm looking at the Big Ten schedule right now. They have not had a non-conference game since October 2nd, since the 5th week of the season. That was the last non-conference game, and it was Illinois playing Charlotte. All right, this is the only conference that does this. The 10 isn't doing it. The ACC doesn't do it. The Pac-12 doesn't do it. Everybody else gets all of these cupcake games out of the way in the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and it has to be a conference decision. Otherwise, Ohio State, Michigan, these people, they would mix in a cupcake late. Somebody is telling them that, look, the beginning of the schedule, you can do that. The last 6-8 weeks of the schedule is all conference. This is an abomination in the SEC. It's one of the few things that annoys the living hell out of me about the SEC. These games this week.
It's threefold. One, the commissioner's office has given the power of scheduling to the schools. If Greg Sankey wants to take it back, all the more power to him.
Yeah.
Number two is, remember, the SEC only plays 8 conference games.
Which is another abomination.
3 of those other conferences that you mentioned play 9.
Yeah.
So there's one less opportunity for a bad game. And yes, those conferences have decided September's the month to get it all out of the way. Our TV partners want conference games the rest of the way. SEC has not also passed that edict down the pipeline. I mean, and in fact, every time Greg Sankey, to my knowledge, has been asked about scheduling, number of conference games, and the way SEC schools do it, he has said, yeah, guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's working for us.
Yeah, but it's not working because Alabama played New Mexico State in Week 10, and it's not working because Georgia's playing Charleston Southern this week. That's not why it works. You know what I mean? That's to me.
No, but all the office cares about is how many teams they get in the playoff, and in that way, it's working.
Yeah,
they get their teams in. Listen, hey, Tom, if you want to hold it against Alabama that they've got 3 cupcakes on their schedule. If they were to lose to Georgia and you want to lead the charge to make sure that Alabama doesn't get into the playoff with 2 losses because they've played 3 cupcakes, I'll back you up.
Yeah.
I'll go to the wall with you. Okay,
yeah.
But until that day happens and until someone from the committee goes, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. They played New Mexico State and they played Mercer and, no, sorry, they don't get in. Okay, but until that day happens, the SEC is going to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and I wish Nick Saban is the one that said, look, he loved 10 conference games. He'd like to play 10, definitely 9. He would vote for 10 and so on. Well, then they need to lead the charge in changing their schedule. They don't need to play 3 cupcakes. And by the way, it's most of the SEC. I mean, Georgia has that Georgia Tech game. Florida has the Florida State game. So they have a natural Power 5 opponent that they play, and maybe they have 2. But most of the conference, LSU's playing McNeese State, Central Michigan, and Louisiana Monroe. We're talking, David, about – we always talk about how it's only a 12-week season, and we're dying that it's only – in 25% of the season, 25% of the season are JV games. I mean, we're talking this is terrible.
Well, here's what – the reason why I don't understand it is not what you're pointing out. It's 25% of all the games, but it's 40 to 50% of the home games. I don't understand why the season ticket holders tolerate this.
Yeah.
You look at your home schedule, like a Georgia season ticket holder. Remember, the Florida game's never on site. So take a look at your home games. Take a look at your home schedule this year. There was no Clemson. There was no Tennessee. There was no Florida. I mean,
they played their home schedule is Missouri, Kentucky, Arkansas, South Carolina. That's what they got. That I'm sorry, the cupcakes. Yeah.
For their best team in 40 years. Those are the paying customers need to lead the revolt.
Yeah.
And what is the one thing that we've found out over the years? We're lapdogs. I mean, we just are.
Yeah.
We just sit there and we take it, we lap it up, and we just, please, feed us more.
On Thursday night, you get Mac Jones in Atlanta. We'll have that game on our air. We're an Atlanta Falcons affiliate. Atlanta has been up and down. They were a 500 team. Going into Dallas, they were the 7th seed in the NFC, and they got shellacked by a Dallas team that did not look good the last week. But this is the NFL now. You have these teams that look great one week and get beat, the death the following week. The Patriots are playing well. Mac Jones. I'll tell you something. Mac Jones looks like a 3rd or a 4th year vet. I mean, he is amazing the way that guy is playing. Does he take that act on the road now against the Falcons in a short week? You're seeing this guy, Mac Jones.
Well, he'll be very comfortable because he's played a couple games there in that building, number one.
Yeah, that's true.
This is the point of the season. We saw it last Thursday in Miami. The Ravens looked like a team that was playing a short week game on the road. That, to me, would be the biggest concern here for the Patriots. Are they just going to have their legs? Are they going to show up? Atlanta's going to show up. The Falcons don't get on national television all that much anymore. New England gets on it 5 times a year. So it's not a big deal for New England. It's a big deal for Atlanta. The Dolphins players spoke about it after the game. They were like, hey, this was our showcase game.
Yeah.
We came ready to play. And so that, to me, does New England show up? If they do, they're better. Their defense is better. Their offense can control the ball. They should win.
Well, they're right there. They're a half a game or something behind Buffalo in the AFC East.
And they still have to play the Bills twice. And all of their off-season moves were specifically targeted to things the Bills don't do well. That's a much better matchup than people think, the Patriots against the Bills. We'll say this about Atlanta, though, Tom. Carolina's the 7th seed, and they're tied with them in the loss column and a half a game back. So, I have a feeling we could have an 8-9, 7th seed in the NFC this year.
Yeah, at least a 9-8, if not an 8-9. David Moulton with us. Okay, finally, Saturday, so you're in Tuscaloosa. You'll get to see Alabama to back-to-back weeks with the SEC championship game too. But you get Alabama and Arkansas. I thought the running back from Michigan State, the Walker kid, I thought he was the Heisman Trophy winner. That kind of went south a little bit. Bryce Young's numbers continue to be stunning. I when they kept saying that he was the leader, in the Heisman race, I would just say, God, come on, really? Or is this just an Alabama thing? Now it looks like he's starting to separate a little bit. A couple of good games here. Are you looking at a sophomore Heisman Trophy candidate? How much of the storyline is that for you guys going in that we're looking at the potential Heisman winner here in Bryce Young?
Yeah, I got to admit, we're not big on the Heisman. I mean, we'll put a couple graphics up, I think, because Nissan pays for it. But also because if you really think about it, the Heisman can change dramatically in 1 week late.
Yeah.
Tom, let me just say Bryce Young for the next 2 weeks tears it up. 1,000 yards of offense. He's the clear front runner for the Heisman going in the SEC championship game. If he and they get beat by Georgia, is he going to win the Heisman? No. He's not. Because I'll give you evidence 3 years ago. His name's Tua.
Yeah.
That thing was over. It was like the claret jug and they were putting his name on it. And all of a sudden the Georgia defense beat him up and knocked him out of the game. And guess who won the Heisman? Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
So, to me, all this Heisman, and like the Michigan State running back, he's steering the polls now. They beat Ohio State this weekend. They'll be number one.
And speaking of number one, number
Kenny
two.
Pickett,
Yeah.
Kenny
Pickett's good. Yeah.
They win. He is good. He's probably going to be the first quarterback taken.
Yeah.
And if by chance they win out, win the ACC, maybe it's just one of those years.
Could be. Well, they I get if it's I'll tell you who the best football player in the country is Will Anderson, but they just won't give it to a real defensive player. That's the best football player in the country. That guy will wreck out those next two games. You watch it, what Will Anderson does, and maybe he splits a little of those votes away from Bryce Young. You never know where he may actually hurt Bryce Young in the thing. If he better at least get invited to New York.
Here's the one thing I will say, Tom. I think the highest-rated game all year is likely to be the SEC championship.
Yeah.
And so if the Heisman is up for grabs amongst whomever, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs. There'll be 12 million eyeballs on that game. And every Heisman voter will be watching that game. And so somebody can win the Heisman between 4 and 8 o'clock on December 4th.
Does the committee have the stones tonight to put Ohio State in front of Oregon? Because Ohio State's better than Oregon. We all look at it. We say there's one little pesky problem there. Oregon beat Ohio State at Ohio State. They also lost to Stanford. So their losses, Ohio State's loss is better than Oregon's loss.
Well,
will they have the stones to move them in front of them? I know. I know.
I know. Come on, Tom.
Would you still have Michigan State in front of Michigan then?
Well, of course I would. They played. Michigan State won. I never would have leapfrogged Michigan.
Would you have Texas A&M in front of Alabama? They beat Alabama. You know what I mean? It's an upset.
No,
Maybe it's an upset.
But there's a difference. Hold on. There's a difference. They've also lost to both Mississippi schools and Arkansas. It's not like the records are the same and, head-to-head decides it. So it's not even apples to oranges there. But here's in the Big Ten, it's going to play itself out. Michigan State, Ohio State, they're all playing each other basically in the last 3 weeks. I wouldn't even worry about that. Does it really matter if Ohio State's ahead of Oregon? I mean, Georgia's 1. So if Oregon's 2 or Ohio State's 2, the other's 3, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Tom, let's be honest. This comes down to one thing and one thing only. Is it going to be Alabama or Cincinnati? That's really what this comes down to. Oregon wins out. Whoever wins the Big Ten from the East is going to be in. It's going to come down to if Alabama knocks off Georgia, they're both going to go. If Georgia beats Alabama, it'll be do we put in a 2-loss Alabama or a 13-0 Cincinnati? That's it.
Yeah, I'm on record. You can't put a 2-loss unless there's other 2-loss teams and there's a bunch of carnage in there where Oregon loses. And something like that happens. I just don't feel like it's right to put a 2-loss team. They may be one of the top 4 teams in the country, but you can't put 11-2 Alabama in there.
Right.
I just
now, if Utah beats Oregon this week, which they could do, then if, by the way, Wisconsin knocks off whoever emerges from the Big Ten East, could happen because they're really hot right now. Now, that's the chaos in which, quite frankly, Tom, that's how you could get both Cincinnati and Notre Dame into the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen this, not that long ago, actually. Alabama fans know how it unfolded in 2011 to get in. Okay, crazy stuff has happened in November before.
Yeah. David Moulton has been our guest. David, I appreciate you as always. Great stuff. Enjoy T-Town on Saturday and Atlanta on Thursday night.
Yeah, 4 days in Atlanta, basically, driving in and out of T-Town on Saturday. It'll be great.
Nice. All right, man. Appreciate it.
You bet. All the best to your listeners.
Thank you, David Moulton. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 1 next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Never mind fall and football being in the air. We want to taste it.
And never mind not being able to tailgate at the game. Let's create the ultimate barbecue experience in your own backyard.
You said it, Foster Brooks, and that's where Brooks & Collier comes in. Big selection of outdoor furniture.
And a big selection of grills and smokers like Traeger, Big Green Egg, Blaze, even DCS, and more.
This is the good stuff.
And Paul, we definitely got the accessories. And remember, we deliver. Visit us at 813 Meridian Street and shop online at brooksandcollier.com.
In times of fear, World Vision is there for the most vulnerable. For the last 70 years, we've been standing with kids and families through natural disasters, war, and disease. delivering life-saving aid and helping rebuild lives. And with every act of courage, faith, and love, we do more than just stop the spread of fear. We replace it with hope. Learn more at worldvision.org.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, people call the award-winning burgers totally insane, which is a compliment because Bad Daddy's Burgers are just that. Chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness built with premium Angus beef. They're bold and they're bad. Pair one with one of their signature cocktails or assortment of local craft brews. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, 2317 Memorial Parkway. Check out our menu and even order online at baddaddysburgerbar.com. Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
That's a no-whip, high-foam, 170-degree, sugar-free gingerbread latte.
Ah, yes. It's gingerbread latte season at Duchesne's Coffee Shop. He'll need a seasonal barista before his cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Coming up at the top of the hour, Joe Rexrode will be in from The Athletic. We'll talk some NFL football with him as the Titans have now moved to 8-2, winning their first two games that they have played without Derrick Henry. We'll also get an update from him. You hear the rhetoric and the way they talk is always that Derrick Henry is out for the season. But is he? Is he? There's talk that maybe he could be back for this playoff team, or maybe even by the end of the season. We'll cover that and more with Joe Rexrode next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Looking for a great deal? Well, I've got one for you. Thom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. And at Valley Equipment, if you rent after 3 on a Friday or on a Saturday morning, you're not due back until Monday morning. So basically, you're getting the entire weekend for the price of one day. And if you're in the service or are a vet, they'll knock another 10% off. Valley Equipment is locally owned and involved in our community through charities and even supporting local teams. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. Stay tuned for info on where that will be and when it will open.
It's not just boughs of holly that are going to deck your halls this holiday season. It's you decking the whole house with outdoor lights and holiday decor from the Home Depot. Fill your yard with Yuletide treasure like a hand-painted LED reindeer sculpture. Want to build a snowman? You can, with our 6-foot sparkling snowman covered in lights. You can even pair it with a Disney inflatable spin. You know, from the movie your kids still watch 3 times a day. 'Tis the season to make things jolly, and the Home Depot has everything you need to make the holidays yours. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is your big game headquarters all fall long. And with our new fall features, every day is game day at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Try our pregame starters, including our homemade onion strings, always fresh hot lips, and our all-new Buffalo Dippin' Chicken appetizer. Our main events include incredible chicken, fish, and shrimp selections, always featuring local Alabama Gulf seafood. And don't forget our Sunday Blitz, 11 to 6. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the End Zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the End Zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Switching season is here at WOW. Get gig speed internet for just $64.99 a month at wowway.com. Plus, get a year of HBO Max included and $300 on us. Wow. After the promotional period, HBO Max will auto-renew at then prevailing rate. Limited to new customers with auto-pay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news from ESPN's Jeff Passan. Thor is heading west. The Angels and free agent right-hander Noah Syndergaard agreed on a one-year, $21 million contract pending a physical. LA also forfeits its second-round draft pick in 2022 because Syndergaard had been tendered a one-year, $18.4 million qualifying offer from the Mets. Right-hander Jose Barrios agreed to a seven-year, $131 million extension with the Blue Jays. College basketball, Duke guard Michael Savarino, grandson of coach Mike Krzyzewski, and star freshman Paolo Banchero faced DWI-related charges following Savarino's arrest early Sunday morning. According to court records obtained by the Raleigh News and Observer, Savarino arrested for DWI. Banchero, a potential number one pick in the upcoming NBA draft, charged with aiding and abetting DWI. No word yet on the status of either player tonight versus Gardner-Webb.
More intense than a Nick Saban press conference.
You sure you want to ask?
Your home of ESPN Radio. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Can't assume anything. I don't even know what you asked me, but I just wanted to say that. You need to move more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford at Woody Anderson Ford. You know, you don't have to have a Ford to get service at Woody Anderson Ford, first of all. Their guys do a tremendous job across the board, and they're going to have what you need. They're going to get your vehicle taken care of. They're going to get it in on time and get it done right. That's Woody Anderson Ford and Woody Anderson of Madison as well. They do a tremendous job. You won't believe it when you go down there and you see those service lanes. It looks like a NASCAR garage down there. They take care of their equipment. They're going to take care of your equipment. All right, joining us now, a guy that does a tremendous job covering the Titans for the Athletic and also a morning show host now on 102.5 The Game. Very nice radio station, good radio station out of Nashville. He is Joe Rexrode. Joe, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. How you doing?
I am fantastic. Glad that you can join us for a few minutes here. And, you know, Joe, I was in Nashville in 2008. I'm not sure if you had gotten there yet, but I was there in 2008. When Kerry Collins led the team to a 13-3 record, and they were an early out in the playoffs. But right now, this team with a 2-game lead for the number 1 seed in the AFC and doing it the last 2 games without Derrick Henry. I mean, this is truly an amazing performance that we're seeing here by not only the coaching staff, but also by these guys that they just continue to win.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was not here yet for that team. That I remember it well, though. You know, the 10-0 start, and then I think that was another one of those Ravens playoff losses at home. But it has been pretty remarkable. You know, first of all, you've got a lot. I mean, right now the Titans, you know, it's well documented now. Vrabel was talking about it yesterday. They've used 82 guys. That's the most in the NFL by a pretty significant margin, and the record in a year is 84. So they're probably going to beat that record. Obviously, that tells you how many injuries they've had. And then, of course, you have the big one a couple weeks ago, Derrick Henry, who I think, you know, you look at what he was doing and look around even at the landscape now with the quarterbacks. There's no obvious MVP right now. I mean, I think he was actually going to be right in there for that. But he goes down. We'll see if he can come back to the playoffs. But in the meantime, they go out and go throttle L.A. on the road. And, of course, now we're used to seeing L.A. be throttled 2 weeks in a row here. But then they, you know, have to beat the Saints in a grinder. I mean, they're kind of cobbling this together. But they're 8-2, and they're playing very good defense. The defense is dramatically improved from last year, and they're doing just enough on offense. You know, we'll see if that can continue. The schedule does lighten up, though. I mean, they're only the second team ever to beat 5 straight playoff teams from the year before, you know, in 5 straight games, which is remarkable in itself. And that includes, you know, the Bills on a Monday night and the Chiefs that really just blew them out. So it's been an awfully impressive season.
No, it has been amazing. Chiefs, Colts, Rams, Saints to get to this point. And now you're right, it does lighten up a little bit. The Houston Texans this week, you want to stay focused and stay on the beam, take care of business there. The New England Patriots are a very interesting team. You know, they have really come on, and Mac Jones is playing great football. It will be interesting to see how they play at Atlanta on a short week. And then finally the bye. But out of the bye, I mean, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, you know, it's always a battle there, but, you know, Pittsburgh's not necessarily the, you know, Pittsburgh of the 70s. The 49ers at home, the Dolphins at home, and then at the Texans. I mean, we're looking at it feels like we're looking at a 14-3 type of season one way or the other.
Maybe, although I will say, watching the Niners last night, how they played, and also the fact that you look at that NFC playoff picture, and they're actually right in there at 4-5. I mean, that could be a challenge. I still think the Steelers, if they have Roethlisberger back, I mean, you know, you tie the Lions, that's horrific. But you also have Mason Rudolph at QB, and like you said, I'm with you, Tom. I think the Patriots are really interesting. The way they play D, the way they run the ball. I mean, it seems like the teams that like to play physical football are kind of emerging a little bit. And, you know, as much of a passing league as this is, I still will always believe that being more physical than your opponent can work in this league. So I think if the Titans were to go 13-4, I think that would be a pretty remarkable finish. And I think that would give them the one. You know, the Bills have 3 losses, but the Titans, of course, have the Bills and a tiebreaker. And the Bills, I know, still have to go to Tampa Bay, I think. So, you know, 13-4 should give them the one. Then you'd have the bye in the playoffs. And if Derrick Henry is going to come back in any capacity, that would give him an extra week. And, you know, if it's going to happen, it would happen by then. And so then you'd be talking about 2 home games to try to get to the Super Bowl. That would be huge, and they've got it in their sights.
Explain the Derrick Henry situation, because you're right. If they have the bye, we're talking about January 22nd, 23rd, before they play their first playoff game. And people forget we've got that 17th game. Regular season doesn't end until the 9th, and then the playoffs, will start the following weekend on the 16th, 17th. And if they have the bye, they don't play all the way until the 23rd. What kind of IR did they put him on, and are they just obviously they would just sit there and hold a roster spot and wait, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. So, I mean, obviously it's not just, it's IR, but that's the thing, obviously, with this year, or the new rule since COVID is, you can take them off. But so basically it's like 6 weeks from the time of the injury for the bone to heal. And until let's look at the scans, look at the x-rays. Like, there's really no telling. He's just like, keep off it and heal. And then, from there, I mean, in theory, you could be back within a couple weeks. I talked to a bone, foot surgeon about this, and he's like, like the 10-week mark, a lot of times, you could come back from that, and obviously some people heal faster than others, but it's so much. I mean, it's a tiny little bone that has screws in it now that, a 250-pound man who cuts so hard, like, right. What does that mean? It's just so hard to know. I mean, I think that there's definite hope that he can get back to the playoffs. But it's mobility. It's just how he feels and cutting and doing all that stuff, and it's mental too. Like, are you fully in on working on it, or are you overcompensating with other things, and then you get hurt somewhere else because of that? We see that all the time, right? We see that a lot with knee injuries. So, I mean, it's just hard to know. Obviously, Derrick Henry's been so incredibly durable. I mean, basically he's had like a hammy that kept him out of one game in his entire career, and then he came back and went on one of the greatest runs ever with the Houston game and the two playoff games over the Ravens and Patriots 2 years ago. But it's still a bone, so like you just don't know. I mean, I think I think he's going to totally give it a go and wants to be back, obviously. And the thing is, I don't know that Derrick Henry at any point before the Super Bowl would be back to being like a 25 to 30 carry guy. But even if you could get like 10, 12 out of him,
right,
the threat he provides and even the emotional boost he provides, that could make the difference for this team. But another aspect, though, of course, is getting Julio Jones back. And will that ever happen? I have no idea.
And it seemed like Julio had him on my fantasy team, by the way. I believed in him coming into this season. But it seemed like Julio got old in a hurry. I mean, maybe they knew something in Atlanta and the injuries finally stacked up and caught up with him. But, it's not quite when Randy Moss came to the Titans and caught 4 passes and got paid $3.7 million for it. But it does seem like the Julio Jones thing ultimately – I don't know. Maybe it's a one-and-done deal. Maybe it just doesn't seem like there's been much contribution there.
Right. No, I mean, and it's not good that it's a hamstring that kept him out basically of half of last season, and now it's a hamstring that just keeps flaring up this year. Now, week 2 at Seattle, I mean, he looked exactly like Julio Jones in that game. He looked great. He was beating him downfield, making big-time catches in traffic, high-pointing the ball. Here and there, he has had his moments. He had a really good first half against the Chiefs. Actually, he had a couple really big conversions in that win against the Rams that helped them hold on after they kind of built that lead. So, I mean, he's had his moments this year where he looks like Julio Jones. It looks like a guy who could really help you next to A.J. Brown. It's just too few and far between. So they decided to finally just say, you know what, IR, which means he missed the last game. He has to miss the next 2 games against the Texans and Patriots, and then they have their off week. And then basically it would be like, take a month, and let's see if after that month you can come back and actually not have this hamstring keep flaring up on you. And I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but I think it was worth doing that. And, even for offensive coordinator Todd Downing, like last week he was excited. Like, we finally got him going, every day. And then, boom, in practice, he tweaks the hammy and he's out. So even for him, it's like, okay, he's out, game plan without him, and we'll see in December.
And then finally, the Adrian Peterson thing has been intriguing, and he has certainly, given them some stuff, and it's great to have a guy like that, a legend like that, in the room. I think the key, though, going down this stretch run is going to be D'Onta Foreman. I mean, this kid has had, he's young, he's had some good years in the past, and I don't know, there's just something about him, running behind that same line that Derrick Henry has run. I think that we're going to see some big numbers coming out of D'Onta Foreman.
No, I think he's definitely the better option of those two right now, and I agree he's got some juice. He's got that physicality. He kind of is like a Derrick Henry light. He doesn't have the home run really ability, but he can punish people, and I think he does warrant more carries with Peterson in sort of a support role. It's watching him last year with this team, and then this year since he's been back, it's hard for me to totally understand why he wasn't somewhere,
right.
Someone 2 or 3, but he was out there, and he seems to be in good shape. And I agree. I think that he the Rams and Saints, those are not the two ideal rush defenses to face right after you lose Derrick Henry. So I think against one of the worst in the league, against the Texans, maybe the Titans can gain some confidence and finally get some traction going there.
Yeah, he's only 25 years old. Keep forgetting that, because when he first came in with the Texans, and that he's going to want to light the Texans up. I mean, this could be a big week for him. Maybe he carries the ball 15 or 18 times, and we see, what he could do against his former team. All right, Joe, I appreciate you so much. I know you're busy, but I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to help us out with this amazing Titans team.
All right, Tom. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Grizz, I don't know if you know this, but Foreman changed his number from 2 weeks ago to last week. He was number 45 all season, and last year he was number 45, and all of a sudden last week he showed up as number 7. And there are rules. Now, for him it might not have been too expensive, but there are rules about changing your number.
Of course.
In midseason. If you are to change your number in midseason, you have to buy out whatever inventory they have for for the what do you call it, for your jerseys.
Yeah,
you have to buy those other jerseys
people
out.
have to do the stitching. They have to make all the corrections to jerseys. I mean, I understand.
No, they buy them out. They just basically taught, I don't know, some kid in Indonesia or something is wearing a jersey, I guess now. We wearing Deontay Foreman number 45 jerseys. Now, I got to tell you, while we're on the NFL for a minute.
Should be able to change it.
Yeah, but what do they do?
I'm talking about if you're a fan and you got it, like if you're a fan of him, and he changed to 7 and you're like, what? Come on.
So, what a bizarre – I don't know what it looked like in your league, but in the Bamazak DFL league, what a bizarre week it was this week. I mean, first of all, in my game, okay?
Yeah.
I forgot to change Aaron Rodgers and Carson Wentz, right? I had Carson Wentz for the week that – remember, my quarterbacks were Aaron Rodgers and what's the name? The kid in New Orleans. And Jameis Winston.
Oh, Jameis Winston. Yeah.
Those are my quarterbacks. So Jameis Winston went down, and Aaron Rodgers had the flu.
Yeah.
He had the COVID. So I picked up Carson Wentz. And remember, he had like 20-something points.
Yeah, he's been big.
He went big, right?
Yeah.
So I left him in this week by mistake. And also, it was snowing in Green Bay. I wasn't sure what kind of a game that Aaron Rodgers would have. Well, Aaron Rodgers ended up only having 10.4 points this past week. Carson Wentz had 7. My quarterback had 7.1 points. And I'm like, I am dead in the water. So I was playing the Heart of Dixie Legends. And his quarterback was Matt Ryan.
I have him in an NFL league. He did pretty good for me.
You know what Matt Ryan had this last week?
Yeah.
Against the Cowboys?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
0.68. 0.68.
Justin Herbert had negative 0.08 at one time, and then ended up with 12. Oh my gosh! I lost just because of him.
I had the Browns defense. They went -6. Okay, he had the Panthers defense.
Yeah,
and he got 14 points. So there was a 20-point swing on the defense. And by the way, on his bench, he had Russell Wilson, who had 21 points. He played Matt Ryan. He had 0.6 points. So he left 20 points on the bench with Russell Wilson.
In the Undertaker League, I have -7 out of the Las Vegas Raiders defense.
There you go.
I mean, I have 2 wins on that. I mean, my team is just awful. Shane Sean's happy because he finally got a win, and Patrick Mahomes didn't score 7. So it's been just a crazy fantasy in general this year.
Well, let me finish this. This is amazing. Yeah. So I'm leading the league, by the way, in my side.
Ridiculous.
I'm leading. So we go into last night, and he's got 79 points, right? And I've got like 60-something. I need Deebo Samuel to come up with like 15 points, 18 points for me to even get close. Deebo Samuel goes off last night for 25 points, right? Scores rushing touchdown, catching touchdown. Deebo Samuel was out of his friggin' mind.
Used him everywhere.
I won that game 85-79 with 25 points from Deebo Samuel. Now get this.
Yeah.
My son, who is in second place in our league, in the Bamazak DFL, my son's in second place. He was playing the Lasso Special, and he had Cooper Kupp, and he was trailing his game throughout.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp on the last garbage drive for the Rams, came up with a couple of big plays.
Yeah.
And my son won his game. You ready for this? 67-65.
Yeah, these scores.
These scores were 67-65.
I think the lowest I got in 1 week was like 57. I mean, I got my butt kicked. I got my butt spanked. I mean, I'm like second in the league. But yeah. No, I played a guy that had 3 people on bye, and I won by 5 points. It was 90-85, and he had 3 people on bye.
No, and then it gets better. Then there's this one. Smokey Mike's team. Smokey Mike, okay?
Yeah.
Smokey Mike, the commissioner. Smokey Mike, the commissioner of our division of the DFL, the Bama Zach DFL. Yeah. Smokey Mike, he's the commissioner. He had Devontae Booker. Bye. He had Jamar Chase. Bye. And he had his beloved Chicago Bear defense. Bye. He had 3 starters on bye, okay? He was going against Lamar Jackson and Josh Jacobs and Tyreek Hill and Marquise Brown and Kyle Pitts, okay? His opponent had 77 points, but Smokey Mike's team is rolling with the Mahomes. He had Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes dropped a smooth 46.24 points.
Yeah.
And Mike won his game 85-77 with 3 buys. Which does that suck?
Yeah, Freddie Kirby has a 8-2 record. Cortland Smells in the Undertaker League. He is just his team is just dominant. But I mean, he did have Derrick Henry at one time. I believe.
So what's the lead in your league?
Well, I'm 2-8. It's very competitive.
No, what's the lead in your league? What do the leaders have? What's
the leaders 8-2, 2.5 men 6-4. That's Chris, and you got Michael, who is that's Team Manor. He's first 5-5, and then you got Sean in fourth at 5-5 with Team Nichols, because it's the top. Obviously, it's the top 2 in your division.
Well, it goes by division, right? Yeah.
So in our highest points, and then the record. It's like record then highest points or something like
that. In my division, I'm 8-2 with a 99% chance of making the playoffs. And my son's team is 7-3. He's got an 88% chance of making the playoffs. And then the other 3 teams in our division, my Wood's going full Chubb, unsolicited Dak picks. I got to say that one carefully. Unsolicited Dak picks is 4-6, and the Lasso special is 3-7. So my son and I are going to make the playoffs in our division. In the other division, Brady Gaga, who I beat a couple of weeks ago, that's Cletus, right? John Boy Dewey Magoo Cletus. He's 6-4 and leading the division. Brave Bama Titan is 5-5. He's got an 80% chance of making the playoffs. And then Heart of Dixie Legends is also 5-5. And Rolling with the Mahomes is 5-5. But for some reason, they only have a 9 and a 6% chance of making the playoffs. That division over there sucks. I mean, that division over there is bad. But overall, I am leading the way. And I'm heading towards putting a second fantasy football DFL ring on the shelf.
We got 7 guys all competitive in our league, and then there's me with 2 wins.
We have 2. We have 3 if you add. We have 3 teams in the whole league. We have 3 teams with a winning record. 3 teams out of 10 with a winning record.
There's only 2 there's only 2 teams. Yeah, 2 out of the 8 that have that.
You have 8? We have 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 8.
We only had 8, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you put them in divisions? Why not just make them one 8-team division? All right.
I should have just made like 6, because I should just, if it was this competitive, I should have just made this top 6 get the playoffs too.
Let me go to this idiot, Smokey Mike. The commissioner doesn't even play half his team. Mike, do I have to teach you how to play fantasy football? I mean,
Big dog. I got to come on and defend myself, as you talked about with the whole bye weeks, because I messed up. But I was doing a showing over in Piedmont, as well as
you got a whole week. You got a whole week to set the thing up right.
My money league, I had Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Damian Harris as my top 3 running backs. How do you think I felt this weekend?
Well, you still had a chance to win, and then you win your game with 3 guys on bye. Of course, he had 2 guys on bye. Guys, Pay attention to your league, to your teams. Jeez.
Well, I'm sorry that I messed up but at least I pulled out a victory. It's kind of funny how I was on a 6-game winning streak in my money league and a 4-game losing streak in this league, and then all of a sudden I win this one and then lose the other one.
Well, this is the tougher league. This is the DFL. Their money league's a bunch of chooches. You know what I mean? And you beat those guys with a stick. The DFL, we have experienced fantasy players here. You know.
Even though I loved how you rolled off those teams.
I think if Shane Sean wins, I should win too, though, because I picked his team. So.
What is Shane Sean's team called?
Team Nichols. He didn't even be creative. It's just his last name.
Team Nichols. Really?
Yeah.
Shane Sean, really?
At least the Bama Zach League is creative with our team names.
We got good names. Lamar the Merrier, Rolling with Mahomes, Brady Gaga. We got good. My Woods going full Chubb. I beat your brother down. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I gotta tell him he's got to change that team name too. He has like 4 different fantasy teams, and all of them involve the Robert Woods punt.
He tried to trade me Nick Chubb while he was sick, while he was on the COVID list. He wanted to give me Nick Chubb for Jonathan Taylor and the kid from what's his name there, Melvin Gordon. He offered me Nick Chubb for Melvin Gordon and Jonathan Taylor. Keep in mind now, I already have the kid from Carolina. I already got the McCaffrey kid.
Oh, you got Chubb?
So I would have had Chubb and I would have had Chubb and McCaffrey. I was actually thinking about taking that trade because he was going to send me a receiver too.
Yeah. Chris also realizes that you're a Browns fan, and he himself is a Colts fan, so that would have been a good favorite team swap that day.
Yeah, that would have been favorite team for favorite team. But Jonathan Taylor's been a horse for me, especially in all the games that McCaffrey missed. So
yeah.
I just keep pulling games out of my ass. To be honest with you, I don't know how. I got a lousy tight end. I don't have great receivers. Somehow I just keep pulling games out of my ass. But, I'm alive. Leading the league.
Yeah, you're most definitely. We suck, but we're alive in our division.
I'm going to get fitted for another ring here pretty soon.
But I just wanted to come on and defend myself because I know it stays one-sided a little bit, so I just wanted to bring the other side into it and explain myself.
All right. I appreciate it.
Dog, have a good one.
You too. All right, we're going to break in here. When we come back, phone lines are open the rest of the way. So if you want to get in, it's just like Smokey Mike did. 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. Lincoln Riley to LSU. Luke said it. I'm going to play it for you. We'll talk a little bit about that and get into much more. We're going back to some college football if you want to jump in on that conversation if you missed it. And I haven't updated Big Dog and the Friday Trifecta yet since we were all discombobulated yesterday. I didn't get the results of that out to you, so I'll get that out as well. It's all coming up right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
College hoops tonight. Number 14, Alabama at home against South Alabama. The Crimson Tide, a 23.5-point home favorite. Tip-off at 6:30 in Coleman Coliseum. Number 21, Auburn, will return to the floor Friday at South Florida. The PGA Tour heads to St. Simon's Island, Georgia for the RSM Classic starting Thursday. Scotty Scheffler, the odds-on favorite to win it at plus 1,200, followed by Webb Simpson at plus 1,400, Cameron Smith at plus 1,800, Harris English, Corey Connors, and Louis Oosthuizen each at plus 2,500. NFL, the Falcons a 6.5-point underdog against the Patriots at home for under 47. Saints a 1.5-point dog at the Eagles over under 43.5.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Valley Equipment Rental. Pretty self-explanatory name, no? Thom Abraham here. And look, Valley Equipment Rental is all over the Tennessee Valley. And they rent equipment. All kinds of equipment. And not just to the contractors out there, but to you, the general public as well. Need a skid steer or an excavator? Well, they've got over 40 units to make sure they've got one for you. From huge boom lifts to miscellaneous hand tools, it's at Valley Equipment Rental on the South Parkway. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. More on that to come.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today. And get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Orange is the color power of construction, the color of Kubota and Huntsville Tractor and Equipment. Those who need to get things done trust Kubota's mini excavators, compact track loaders, and the best keeps getting better with the all-new mini compact loader from one of the top dealers in the country. More than 50 years of family service, every part in the book, and folks who know what to do with them. You'll be seeing orange with Huntsville Tractor and Equipment.
Come on, let's go to work.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Another year of Coach Saban in Tuscaloosa. You know what that means.
I've been a part of a team since I was 9 years old. It scares me to ever think of the day when I wouldn't be a part of a team.
Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network and the Nick Saban Show is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Chuck Oliver. Listen to me coming up today at noon. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment. Love Valley Equipment. I love equipment. I love Valley Equipment. Russ Roberts and his crew do a tremendous job over there. They are local folks, and they are building a juggernaut over there. In fact, they're adding a second location coming in the spring. When I first started with Valley Equipment and first became aware of Valley Equipment, they had like a couple of skid steers, a couple of excavators, a bunch of small stuff, and lo and behold, now they've got more excavators and skid steers than anybody, like 40 than anybody. And their new location is going to have room for them to have even bigger excavators and bigger dozers. They got dozers now. They also have all the small stuff that you need, whether you're screeting concrete or whether you're mixing concrete. I don't know why I'm talking about concrete, because I got some concrete work that I'm going to do sometime over the winter. And they've got all of that kind of stuff. They've got – when we had an event, when we were out at the football camp 2 summers ago, we needed a couple of big fans. Remember that Grizz? I had to send Grizz over to get them. We needed a couple of big fans, and we got a couple of big fans.
That massive tank that I drove from Woody Anderson Ford.
Oh, God, that thing was beautiful. That white F-150 tank.
The freaking monster truck was
that
awesome.
Thing was absolutely beautiful. You went over to Valley Equipment, you got the fans. They got everything. Big or small, they've got it all. And they'll teach you as well. Did I just come up with a tag? You hear that? I just said big or small, they got it all. I'm making up stuff. It's tremendous. They're good people. They're good. And they're fans of the show, which I love. You know what I mean? It's always good because I've said this over and over again. The people I endorse, when you hear me doing endorsement ads on this radio show, these are people that I believe in as people. These are people I would refer to. It's just not like I don't know Brian Hammaker. It's not like I just don't know Bobby White or Ross Roberts. These are people I believe in. These are people I would send my family members to. And that's how I think of you as my radio audience. Like you're my family members. So I would send you to go and, utilize these people when you have these kind of needs. More to come on that, too. All right. By the way, Grizz, this will bring great comfort to you. The Cleveland Guardians baseball team now officially will be able to be called the Cleveland Guardians baseball team because they reached a settlement with the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team that hasn't played in the last 2 years, but they did exist for 7 years before that, and they do want to come back in 2022. And they did register the name with the Ohio Secretary of State in 2017. So of all the names that the Cleveland baseball team decided to come up with, they came up with the name Cleveland Guardians, of which there was a roller derby team.
Yeah. They were pretty good, too. I
Oh,
went to that website, too.
The Cleveland Guardians?
ClevelandGuardians.com, yeah.
Now, will ClevelandGuardians.com be still owned by the Guardians roller derby team? They're going to be allowed to keep their name.
Yeah.
So what is it, ClevelandGuardians.com?
ClevelandGuardians.com. Because you know how like the Atlanta Braves are the AtlantaBraves.com, but it goes to MLB, or it's like Atlanta Braves /MLB or whatever.com.
So when you go to ClevelandGuardians.com, does it take you? It takes you to the.
They got
pictures. Is it a roller derby? Oh, it's a men's roller derby team.
Yeah, I believe so. It might be men's.
Oh, maybe they got men and chicks.
Men and women's. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a men and women roller derby team.
Roller derby's legit. It used to be on TV back in the day.
Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, roller derby was cool.
I was a kid, rollerball. You remember what was it? Rollerball, the movie.
That was
Rollerball?
the movie.
That was an awesome movie.
James Caan.
Yeah.
Rollerball, roller derby. I always got a kick out of. I always watch as a kid growing up. You would watch roller derby and then the wrestling show. You'd have roller derby and wrestling on back to back on a Saturday morning. I didn't watch the cartoons. I watched one cartoon. I say song. I say song. I watched my Foghorn Leghorn was my cartoon of choice, and then I would watch roller derby and wrestling on a Saturday morning.
Sounds about right. I think that's pretty much. I think that's what I had. I did too. Yeah.
Tony Martino, Bruno Sammartino, Tony Marino, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, who just died. Dale is up. Dale, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
It's funny how you're talking about Cleveland. Yesterday, I spent an hour and a half talking to, and I cannot remember his first name, Burns at Pittsburgh Auburn from around here. Caleb, maybe Caleb?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in our shop yesterday getting his truck worked on. I know I can't say the name of my shop because it's competes with y'all's, but he was here. He's the coolest he can be, man. He's just calm, cool, and selective. He was great.
Yeah.
I stood there talking an hour with him about baseball. You wouldn't think he's throwing 90 mile an hour as I was looking at him, but I guess he does. But yeah, he was really good. I mean, he's pretty cool. But talking about fantasy stuff, I played DraftKings. I messed around, didn't get in y'all's league. I don't know what I was thinking and what I've done, but the difference between me winning $200 yesterday in DraftKings and winning 20 was 5 points.
Really?
And it was it was a tight end from the Giants, I think.
Yeah.
Auckland or whatever his name was. Anyway, he got 16, and I got Jordan Howard got 8, and I had another guy that got a little more. But anyway, the difference between winning $200 and $20 is 5 points.
Yeah, I don't do the fantasy, the one-day fantasy and stuff. I'll get on games, and I had the Rams last night, -3.5. What the hell was I thinking?
Oh, yeah, that was
But
it was good.
You know, I believe in momentum when it comes to sports gambling, sports betting. I think you should just stop with it. I should have known. I mean, it was going bad. I had Tennessee +20.5 against the Bulldogs. I had Auburn. They were up 28-3. I had Auburn. I laid a 1.5 or whatever it was. I had Auburn. That went bad. I hit with Ole Miss. But I mean,
Ole Miss was great.
Yeah, it was just bad though all weekend. I had the Titans, and they got backdoor covered by the Saints. Remember, the Titans were a 3-point favorite, 3.5-point favorite at home, and they were leading by 2 touchdowns. Saints chipped one in late, and they won by 2. And I should have just stopped right then and there. Although the Packers hit. But I had another game that went on over. But then I thought, well, let me jump on last night and see if I can't get a little back. And I really like the Rams -3.5. I thought they would bounce back off of their loss. I forgot the OBJ effect was in play. I forgot that OBJ goes to a team and they suck.
Well, that and Matthew Stafford just throwing the ball everywhere. I mean, he tried to throw it to OBJ and he just didn't run the right route to a pick. And the other pick.
That's what happens. You try to force it to OBJ and you throw a pick. I mean, that was Baker Mayfield all over again. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he threw the other pick just straight to the guy. I don't know what he was thinking about that when he threw that pick. I'm like, come on, dude. I turned it off like that because I had a bunch of rounds on my DraftKings thing.
Yeah,
I put $5 in DraftKings 2 years ago, and I'm still playing off of it. And I got like $85 in my account.
Really? Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't play the big dollar stuff. If I did, I'd be broke. So.
Yeah.
I just play like the quarter leagues, but still, I had a quarter and I won $20 off a quarter, so you can't go wrong with that.
No, that's cool. All right, Dale, I appreciate it, man.
All right, see you, bro.
Thanks. No, I just throw a couple of hundred into an account and play it as the season goes on. And just like on here would Beat the Big Dog, I come out real good early, and then it starts to just erode away. The house always wins, Grizz. And I get tired of betting 50s. You know what I mean? I'll throw 50 on a game, 50 on a game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm tired of it. And I had built it up to, my 200 had built up to about 1,000 over the, going into the weekend. And so I thought, you know what? Let me ramp this up. Let me start throwing hundies. And I start losing. And at the end, it'll be gone. It's just because the house. Why do you think all of these casinos and all of these people are spending all of this money, DraftKings and all of it? Why do you think they spend all of that money to get you to go to their betting sites? You think because they're going to just give money away? They're going to win. In the end, they win. They do. In the end, they win. I am so close to just rolling my whole bankroll on the next good game I like just to get it over with. I'm liable to just throw 500 on a game and just forget about it.
Well, you're going about it all wrong, girlie. You don't bat 'em on the bean with a rolling pin. That comes later.
Look, I got hit in the head with a rolling pin.
I like my money. Last time I went to a casino and tried to bet anything, I spent 50 and made 50, and I was like, yeah, I felt good after that.
Well,
and I
just
quit.
decide what you're going to.
And then I quit.
I used to play heavy stuff. I mean, years ago, I used to play heavies. I'd have I've had 15. I'd have for heavy for me. I'd have 1,500 to 2,000 in play every Saturday and Sunday.
I had a buddy walk into a legit poker tournament down in Philadelphia, Mississippi, in a casino and win the whole thing.
No, that's cool.
It's a big timer try to big time him a little bit and split. They made him split the money, but man, he said he could have beat him. He would have beat him bad, but they had to split the pot.
But now I do just nickel dime stuff. 50 here, 50 there, and I ramped it up to 100 this past weekend. I went a tank. Grumpy says Cleveland missed a huge marketing opportunity. They should have named that team the Cleveland Steamers. I don't get it. What's a Cleveland Steamer? Is that a thing?
Say, boy, you cover about as much as a flapper's skirt in a high wind.
My guy right there. I say song.
That as sharp as a bowling ball.
I say song. What you talking about, son? I don't get it. Cleveland Steamers?
Yeah, is that a thing? It's a gross term. Don't look it up.
Okay. I shouldn't have read that on the air. Should I not have read that on the air?
Probably not, but
I'm so naive. I don't know.
Nobody would have known what you were talking about anyway. They probably would have thought it was like a steam engine or something. I think there's still a local speaking of Derby. I think there's a local Derby Girls, like a Rocket City League. I know it was Dixie Derby Girls.
I remember there used to be. Yeah.
I think there's a Rocket City one here.
Let's update Beat the Big Dog and a Friday trifecta.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
As I said, it wasn't a great weekend for me. I went 2-4 thanks to that backdoor cover by the Saints against the Titans. I went 2-4. Kramer was 3-3. All right, so Kramer went 3-3, so he gets fed and he gets the tickets. You got his information last week, right? When you gave him the tickets for just participating. Is that right, Grizz? You got Kramer's information?
Yes,
right?
I do. Yes,
okay.
I do. I need Badger Larry if you're listening. I need you to call in because I lost your information in the move and somewhere. I had it.
Badger Larry, we need your information. Kramer, we need Kramer's getting 2 additional tickets.
Yeah.
And he gets Chow. All right.
Did what happened to Badger Larry? He lost, right? Last week?
Yeah, he just got the 2
tickets. Okay, good. I want to make
sure.
He got
2 tickets. He got participation award. He got the 2 tickets.
We're giving out participation awards.
Yeah, he got a participation award just for playing. And then the Friday trifecta. This is how tough this weekend was, okay? And I talk about me getting beat up. You guys all got beat up too. We took a bunch of calls on air and a bunch of picks online. I probably had 50 picks in the Friday trifecta. Nobody hit it. Grizz, send nothing out for the Friday trifecta.
Wow.
Nothing changed on the big board. Nobody hit it. So now I'm going to up the game. I'm going to start putting some bonus picks in there this week, but nobody hit the Friday trifecta. Nobody could put those teams together. Everybody had either Auburn or Texas A&M. Auburn, Texas A&M. Auburn, and then a few had Tennessee. Nobody hit that Friday trifecta. All right. Yesterday on this Sports Talk radio show, Tom Luganville referring to the LSU job.
I personally, this is what I think, and I could be way off base, Tom. I think Lincoln Riley's going to go to LSU.
Wow.
So I don't know if the lane.
Wow.
Well, listen. Something's going on there. He canceled his press conference. He couldn't show up for his press conference early last week, right? The team clearly did not seem like they were focused and prepared to play to Baylor's level. There's something going on there, man, because that team at Oklahoma has way too much talent for them to play as inconsistently as they have. And think about it. If you're just look at it from this perspective. You're Lincoln Riley. You're going, okay, we're entering into the SEC. We're outside of the SEC footprint. At LSU, there's no other Power 5 competitor. You have, I think, really a significant leg up on Oklahoma in recruiting because of the footprint in the state that you reside in. Maybe he's looking at it and saying, as this thing starts to go down this path, what's the best option for me to succeed? Because I think Oklahoma, with what we've seen from Oklahoma and certainly what we've seen from Texas, if you look at what Texas A&M has done since 2011, there's only been one time they've even sniffed Atlanta. Once.
Yeah.
So what are we going to say Oklahoma and Texas is going to do?
Very interesting. React! When we come back, it's the Thom Abraham Show. More right after this on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Maybe the air doesn't blow like it should, or it's needing new tires, or you're just ready for something newer. It's time to move up, time to trade up. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and it's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your current car or truck is worth more than you know. In fact, we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't trade. We have nearly 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. They've passed a 172-point inspection by certified technicians, come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. It's the perfect time to trade in and trade up because your vehicle is worth more right now at Woody Anderson Ford. Corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
Brooks & Collier has always been about making the most of your outdoors. Our lush greenhouse and new furniture ideas will inspire you, but we're also about value. Our brands are so handsome, they'll make themselves comfortable inside or out, and so well made, they'll weather the weather for many years to come. Our staff can consult you on the right choices, and Lucy for sure can show us the sofa that's the most comfortable. Make the most of your outdoors. Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home, doing whatever it is you do. Then, pow! The power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
People stay just a little bit longer. We want to play just a little bit longer. The promoter don't mind, and the union don't mind. If we take a little time.
My son is trying to steal Devontae Smith from me. I mean, are you kidding me? My son is offering me Kirk Cousins. What the hell do I need a third-string quarterback for? He's offering me Kirk Cousins for Devontae Smith. Yes, I've had Devontae Smith on my bench on and off. But yes, he's also been coming on. What do I need Kirk Cousins for? I got Aaron Rodgers. And if I need somebody, I got Carson Wentz.
I wouldn't have done it. Nope.
You would have done it?
No, I wouldn't have.
I'm not giving him Devontae Smith for Kirk Cousins.
It's crazy. Kirk
He's
Cousins
out of his mind. Can I answer him here? Do I got to answer him on the thing? Do I got to decline the trade? Maybe he can hear me in the other room.
You can reject it. You can reject it. The only way, I mean, like if you accepted it though, within your league, everyone has to approve it though, like before a certain date, and it has to be like a majority, I believe.
I rejected it already, and in the box where it says comment, I put no to the hell no.
You gotta keep on your toes. Toes, that is.
I said, Sean, hell to the no hell. Hell no, son.
No, I would not. I would never have made that trade.
I hope he's listening. He's probably on his way. What time is it? 11:55. He's probably on his way to UAH for class, but he doesn't listen to the station, I don't think.
I had him on my bench, too, and I didn't use him.
Who, my son or Kirk Cousins?
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. I had him on my bench. He's been on my bench. He's doing okay. But what do? Do I put him in? I got Chris Godwin going against the Giants. I've got Deebo Samuel going against Jacksonville. And I got Terry McLaurin going against Carolina at Carolina. Who am I putting Devontae Smith in for? Maybe Terry McLaurin?
Yeah,
maybe.
Terry. Scary Terry. He hasn't been very good. I like Deebo in your roster because, I mean, they're going to use him anywhere. I mean, they were going to use him anywhere before. He just was playing, he's hurt or he was out. And that's the problem with him. You don't know, he's kind of injury prone. You don't know what Deebo Samuel's going to give you, too, as a receiver because they use him out of the backfield everywhere.
McLaurin has had a 24-point day, an 18-point day, and a 16-point day. So he had 3.5.
He's had some good days.
So he's had some good days. I can't just bail on Terry McLaurin right now.
No. But Devontae Smith's been putting up some good. The thing is if Jalen Hurts can get him the ball, I mean, obviously, it's.
And they're playing New Orleans.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I might make that move, but I don't. I also got Randall Cobb.
I've been thriving with Hunter Renfrow and Tim Patrick all year.
Yeah.
Been banking on, Jonathan Taylor.
Those are two slot receivers for God's sake.
Exactly. I mean, in one league, I'm second, or I think I'm second with an all Alabama roster. I mean,
somebody says why would Lincoln Riley leave Oklahoma for LSU and so on. One of the things you got to think about, not only does he have a better recruiting base and probably a better situation overall, maybe at LSU. But remember, the SEC West that Lincoln Riley would be entering is probably an SEC West without Alabama and without Auburn, but without Alabama. Because you got to figure that Alabama and Auburn, anything other than Alabama and Auburn to the east in two 8-team divisions is going to piss me off. If they go with the 4-team pods, that's going to bother me. You know what I would rather see than that is if they don't go an 8-team West and an 8-team East and a 9-game schedule or a 10-game schedule.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, I just assume they go with no divisions and give me 16 teams top to bottom and give me the 2 best. And what you do is you have 3 automatic games and then you rotate the other 6 games and you see everybody home and home in 4 years. And then the top 2 teams make it to the SEC Championship. That's the way I would do it. All right, coming up next, we have that there Chuck Oliver, and then the Paul Feinbaum, and then the drive is at the Furniture Factory tonight. For Chad, I'm Tom, and this is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well,